representation. Now, I have invited a special guest, Ali Kazmi, in fact, I spoke with him. He's a very busy guy, but I managed to nail him down for an interview this week. Ali is somebody that I met actually in production. He directed one of my commercials. It was a very iconic commercial for Marineland, and he was one of the directors. He worked behind the camera. He's worked in front of the camera. And this is a guy who has broken stereotypes. He was a very successful actor in Pakistan before he immigrated to Canada. And when he came to Canada, he had a fantastic story because he started from scratch all over again. And not many people would do that. He came here, he worked his way up, he went to acting classes, and most recently, you would have seen him in Funny Boy, which is Deepa Mehta's film that was actually Canada's submission to the Oscars for 2021. Well, Deepa really likes him. He was also in Biba Boys, which is about South Asian gangs in Vancouver. They had great clothes in that movie. So I caught up with Ali to essentially speak about some of the issues that we face, because I'm no fortune teller. I can't predict where we're going to be in the future. But before I play this interview, so I'm today playing only a clip because we have limited time, but we will put the full interview up on the Asian Heritage Month website. Before I play this clip, Ali is here with us. And Ali, if you could just say a few words to our audience. Oh, Aviana? You just got to turn on Ali's microphone. I'm not sure if he has signed in yet or not, but. And if he hasn't, I will play the interview now. Oh, he says he is on. Maybe you could unmute him for just a second, Aviana. Unmute? No? Oh, I'm the one who has to unmute it. Oh, yes, because I forgot, everybody. I became the host. Hang on one second. But I'm going to have to, I have no idea how to do that. This is unfortunate. Hang on one second. Oh, hang on. Yes, I can. Yes, there we go. Ali, please unmute. Thank you, Minister. Thank you. You can operate Zoom better than I can. Thank you. Ali, just unmute your microphone there.
Unmute.
There you go.
Okay, here we go. All right.
Go ahead, Ali. You can say a few words to our audience before I play a bit of our interview.
Thank you, Justin. I really appreciate you having me on. It's a pleasure to be in such esteemed company. And like Justin said, I was really enjoying your presentation, by the way, because it's so true that I remember growing up watching Peter Sellers, in The Party, which is a film I loved. And I was shocked. And I watched it when I was maybe 9, 10 years old. And I loved that movie. And I was like, man, this is it. I was acting since then, because my parents are both actors and directors in Pakistan too. So I've been acting since I was 2 years old. And when I was 9, 10 years old, I was like, man, this is it. This is amazing. Look at this guy. And at that time, there was no Google or anything. So I was like, wow, he's Indian. He's broken into like mainstream Hollywood. He's done this movie, The Party. It's so amazing. And I was shocked to find out in the next, like, a few hours later, when my parents were like, okay, do you know that he's not Indian or he's not South Asian at all? I was like, oh, that's weird. Why is that? Why was it? And I remember as a kid asking this question, which was awkward for my parents, because I was like, why? Why did they not? Could they not find? I mean, there's so many of us. Could they not find a South Asian person to play this role there? And they were like, son, that's a conversation for another time. It'll take you some time to understand, but representation takes time and effort. So always do your best and make sure that you're up there to be counted and make a difference. And something that I always say is, and especially after moving here, it's something that's very close to my heart, is that for all of us, I mean, if we stand divided, it's easy to separate us all. But if we may all look different, but if we all come together is when we can truly make a difference. And in this day and age, you know, when we're all going through this tough time together, we've been through a pandemic together, we are genuinely all in this together. I think that it's about time that we educate ourselves as a people, as a human race, and move forward together and stop Asian hate, stop stereotyping, stop tokenism, and genuinely just, you know, understand that we're all complex individuals with rich culture and heritage, and just learn about each other and move forward together. So thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Ali. So like I said, I will play a clip of our interview. And if you'd like to see the whole interview, you can go to our Asian Heritage Month website, where we will be posting this after today. Right. Ali, thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you, man.
Finished Funny Boy, and that was Canada's submission to the Oscars. How was that? Tell me about that.
It was honestly like a transformative experience. It was, you know, first of all, you know, in this day and age, how things are slowly changing with the arts and media, and how you know, BIPOC performers. We'll talk more about that, but how BIPOC performers are becoming a mandate and very important. There's someone like Deepa Mehta who has been fighting this cause and doing this thing for, you know, decades. So it's my second film with her, and she's someone that is.
She likes you. You were in Viva Boys.
Yeah, right. And yeah, you enjoyed that one. You like the suiting, the thick styling of that one.
I love the clothes. Yeah.
I know. But yeah, a Funny Boy was beautiful. We shot in Sri Lanka. We were there for 2 months, and we got to be with, you know, there was an Indian crew, there was a Canadian crew, there was a Sri Lankan crew. You know, I was one of the, you know, one of the only Pakistani Canadians that got to be in the show, and it really was an amazing experience to shoot that, with being one with the people and with the culture, and telling important stories of the subcontinent that actually, even though it was set in the 70s, it is very relevant today. It's the coming of age story of a gay kid in the 70s in Sri Lanka, and what happens to his family and what he goes through to find love and whatnot. And then there's a civil war between the Tamil people and the Sinhalese people, and then eventually the family has to leave, and no matter what opulence or whatever you come from, you know, when a tragedy hits, I think what we've understood from last year as well is, when a tragedy hits, unfortunately, you know, we're all one and the same. We're all human, and the whole family has to move to Canada, leave everything that they've built behind, and move here as refugees. That's kind of the end of the film. So,
how are you particularly perceived overseas? Because, you know, you are from Pakistan, but you are Canadian. How are you perceived to overseas audience, being Pakistani Canadian?
Well, you know, I think first of all, I think a lot of people don't realize as to how long I've lived in Pakistan. So I grew up there, and I moved to Canada at 25.
Yeah.
You know, so actually it's from 0 to 25 I've been in Pakistan. You know, and then I moved here about 14 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm 39 now, which is getting closer and closer to the big 40. But but I would say that I think that for me, my goal always in my life was to be an international performer, and art should not have boundaries, in my view. And I think if you have something to say, and if you have something to give, you have a talent, you have something to give back, you should. And I feel that you shouldn't limit it to being in a certain place, or just limited to a certain amount of industry. So I think that people have appreciated that, because before I moved here, I was already a well-known Pakistani actor.
Right.
And then I moved here, and I started from scratch, and I went to film school, went to drama school, and yeah, here we are. You know, I'm working in film and TV and stuff here. So.
Starting from scratch, how was
that? It was breeze. You know, you don't realize it until you do it, and then you truly realize, and you have so much respect for all the immigrant families that have come before you, you know, and you truly realize, you've seen it in movies, you've seen it in things, and you know, in blurbs here and there, but you realize it firsthand that, you know, all those parents, you have respect, you have mad respect for all those families and all those parents that tried to give um, their kids a better life or something different, something that they didn't have, you know, and you respect that so much that maybe they would be doctors or engineers or artists or whatever back home, from whatever country they came from, you know. And especially us as Asians and South Asians, you know, I mean, I feel that that's a big thing. You know, we have the tiger parent thing. The parents want the best for the kids, you know. It's a beautiful thing, you know, because they go out of their way. And sometimes, you know, you meet these amazing families where it's like they were something else in their country, and now they're here driving a cab or doing real estate or something else, all respectable things, but they've given up their dream just so they can make a better future for their families. And so you realize all that, and that comes with a responsibility. So I took it very seriously, and I knew that when I moved here, I wanted to make something of myself. I wanted to make my parents proud. My parents are still back in Pakistan, and they're actors and directors as well. So it was something of a, I really wanted to take the legacy forward. You know, there was no film schools when I moved here. There were no film schools in Pakistan, I mean, when I moved here. And so I really, really wanted to make that global impact as a Pakistani Canadian. You know, I wanted to make my voice be heard, and I wanted to be counted. And it was rough, you know, it was rough starting from zero, because you have to put your ego aside, you have to put everything sort of, you know, you have your experiences, you keep them in the back of your mind, but you have to unlearn so many things and sort of really be broken down so you can build yourself up again. You know, it's one of those things. And I found it if you take things positively, I found it an amazing experience, because it's something that challenges you, and if you're up for it, you know, there's sky's the limit. So yeah,